Hey everyone, welcome back to another LEGO Star Wars review. Today I have the Rebel U-Wing Starfighter, which released May 1st of 2025. Set number 75399, 594 pieces, has 4 minifigures, and retails for $70. This is the second set to come from the Andor TV series. As you can see, Andor and a Stormtrooper in the bottom left corner of the set. And on the back of the box shows the minifigures in action and some of the play features that are on the U-Wing. Starting with the main character himself, Cassian Andor, the torso printing and leg printing looks really good. He's wearing, his Rebel attire in Andor Season 2, and the back printing is the rest of his jacket with some good detail, which looks really good. Does come with a gray blaster pistol. The face print is pretty much the same as previous Andor minifigures, except the Season 1, because he had a longer beard in that one. But in terms of, how he looked like in Rogue One, this is pretty much the same face print, along with the hair as well. But like I said, different than Season 1, where he had longer hair. The first face print is him with a smirk, and the second one is more of a straight face. Up next is K2SO, utilizing the Super Battle Droid legs and B1 Battle Droid arms in this black color scheme. On each side is a printed Imperial logo, which looks really good. The torso mold with the printing is good as well, and I do really like the way this K2SO minifigure looks. Now, on the Imperial side is Dedra Meero. It's very nice to get this character in LEGO form, and I really love the way that she looks. Starting with the leg printing, it would have been nice for some dual molded, white with the black boots, but, because it does look a little bit odd with just the top half printed white, and then especially, turning fully around. It does look a bit odd. Actually does look like some different whites between the two, so that's definitely another, odd look to it. The torso printing, it looks excellent though. I really do love the torso and back printing for her Imperial coat. And the face print looks good, and I really love the hair/hat mold. It looks very good. Her first face print is a very straight, serious face, with the second one being a more angry one. This is a very good Dedra Meero minifigure. The dual molded legs definitely would have looked better, but it's very awesome to get her in LEGO. And lastly is an ISB tactical agent who holds a blaster and a riot shield. The torso and leg printing looks very good, depicting, some Imperial armor, and the back looks good as well. And there is just one face print with a kind of generic straight face print that's used for, any Imperial personnel. And he does have the Imperial hat mold. The U-Wing looks excellent. I really love the way that this U-Wing looks. Now, one of the main criticisms is it is downscaled from the previous U-Wing that released around Rogue One. But this U-Wing definitely does look very sleek and smooth, and I really do like that, because the U-Wing is a pretty thin and sleek ship in universe. Starting off in the midsection of the U-Wing are the 2 laser cannons, one on each side, with 2 flick fire missiles in the middle, and then in here is the blue paint, although it goes all the way on the actual ship. There are stickers in this set. This one utilizes some of the yellow striped paint on that side. And to fire the flick fire missiles, you can kind of notice there is a slightly raised plate here, and you simply press down and it fires the missiles. So it's a pretty nice hidden feature that doesn't take away from the look. The cockpit area looks really good with a printed cockpit piece, which is utilized, in the Playscale X-Wing, so nothing new here. And as you can see, you can't really get it up. So to actually lift it up, there's a small mechanism here. You push and it raises it a little bit. So then you can actually get in the cockpit, and there is an area for Cassian to sit. Unfortunately, the minifigure does have to lay all the way down for the cockpit to fully close. You can't sit up. And then there is a sticker piece depicting some control panels. Moving on towards the back is some more detail, like the reactor power plant or the cooling fins being depicted by these grill pieces, so it does look very good. And then there's some more yellow tiles and slopes here and there to depict some yellow paint, and same with the blue. Both S-foils are built the same way, just with some minor variation in tiles for, different colors. There are stickers on each side with the blue stripes, and then there is a sticker here for some yellow color. Now on to the back 4 engine thrusters. I do really like the design, though I will say I don't necessarily agree with the technique of this middle area on each, as the U-Wing, it's fully round, so I actually prefer the previous U-Wing. I think it looking blocky just, doesn't fit the roundness and accuracy to the actual U-Wing, but it doesn't take away from the look of this build either. I just would have loved for it to be fully round like the U-Wing, but the detail is really good, and LEGO did this so they could add some different variations between all the engines engines. I do like the look on the front of the engines. But overall, I do like the design and look of the engine thrusters. I just think it would have looked better had this been round to fit the rest. And of course, the main play feature and function of the U-Wing is the S-foils going outward into position. Usually the pilots did this whether, it's flying in atmospheric conditions or to simply, clear up the viewport here in this area. But the main play feature is very greatly done. There are ball joints, so that's what connects the S-foils in position, and you simply unclip it and it clips into another ball joint in the back here to stay in this longwards position, and it does look very good. It's a very simple function and they clip back easily to stay in place. Now moving on to the underside, as the U-Wing is not a starfighter, it's more of a troop carrier. It does have some capacity for troops in universe. On each side is a door that simply just lifts down to reveal a very small interior. Now the actual U-Wing, the doors slide out, but I guess Lego, due to the size constraint, couldn't get the slide-in maneuver, so the doors simply just come down. So not very accurate, but I guess for the design, it had to be that way. And there are some two clear pieces to act as windows. With it being a troop carrier and this set being downsized, having this small of an interior definitely is a bit of a letdown. There's just one seat for a minifigure, whereas, this spot is taken up by a crate. But had the interior been any bigger, it definitely would have made the top section a little bit more bulkier, possibly. So it could just be the design constraints, to keep this slim look like the actual U-Wing. You actually can't sit Cassian in there with his hairpiece on, like actually upright. With it being so small, it definitely is a tight squeeze to use your hands to really get in there. And as you can see, without the hairpiece, his head touches the roof, so that's definitely a bit of a letdown. If you wanted him to be with his hairpiece, you'd probably have to lay him down a little bit, but even then, I don't know if there's any room for that. So definitely not the greatest interior, very small, and, you would have loved to fit a few more minifigures in there, as this is a troop transport. There is a printed control panel there that you can have Cassian use. And then on the front of the underside is the viewport. And then on the back here is some more detail. So my final thoughts on this set is I really do love all the minifigures, especially the Dedra and K2SO, getting them again and getting Dedra for the first time. I am a fan of the U-Wing. I think it looks very good with the, sleek and smoothness and the play features, especially with the S-foils in the out position. $70 is a bit of a hefty price, coming with 594 pieces. The price per piece ratio is not the greatest. Of course, this isn't a perfect set. I would have loved the engine thrusters to be fully round, and of course, I would have loved the interior space to be bigger rather than it just being one seat. But I think the actual exterior looks very good and captures the U-Wing in a good way, with it being, very smooth and sleek. So there's definitely some good things and bad things about this set. I think I would definitely recommend getting this set on sale. I think $70 is a bit of a hefty price. If this was $50, it definitely would have been more worth it than, getting this at $70. But even then, I don't consider this a bad set at all. I do really like the way this U-Wing looks, and, it has some pretty good minifigures. Anyways, that was the review. Let me know down in the comments what you think of this set. Definitely lightsaber slash that like button and hit subscribe with the post notifications on so you know when I upload. I hope you all have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace.